Hello, entrepreneurial leaders. We're so excited for the call. It's happening. It's happening. Serena, don't forget to make me co-host.
Got you. Good morning.
Hi, Terry. Hi, Carol. Hi, Lena. Hi, Kaya. Hi, Emma. Hi, Carol. Hi, Dr. Jane. Hi, Merritt. Hi, Spring. So you guys can play around with Zoom a little bit while we're hopping on. You guys can start playing around with the controls at the top of the screen. There's a couple of different ways you can arrange us, right? So if you play around with the controls and if you click up at the upper right hand corner of the screen, you can click so that you can see all of the faces. Do you guys see that? Rather than just me being big, you can change around the rubric there so that you can click those little white boxes so that you can see all of the beauty on the call and not just myself or Serena. Oh my gosh, we're so excited to be here. It's so fun to see Serena sitting in our office and I'm down here in Solana Beach. I'm in the condo, Ocean View condo of my very first coach. I'm visiting San Diego and she gave me her condo just for today so that I could lead all my calls from her sweet ocean view. So maybe someday you guys will be sitting in my sanctuary leading a call of your own. Right? It's like all about the sisterhood. So as you guys are hopping on, please unmute yourself and say hi and then mute yourself back just to practice.
Hello.
Hi. Hi first.
Hi.
Hello.
Good to see you all.
Hi.
There you go. Now we're hearing some voices.
Nice, nice. Good morning, ladies.
Hi, Serena.
Good morning. Good morning. Look at you all.
Good morning.
Oh,
So
so good to
excited.
have you here. So Sage was coaching us. Make sure that your face is in the camera and that you pull your computer a little bit closer so that we can see your eyes. Yeah, that's it, Julie. Wonderful. And you know, I'm all dolled up this morning because I woke up super excited, but we just want to set the context that doesn't always have to be so. However you arrive to these calls, that you're showing up is what is most important. And the way we would love for you to show up is to be able to see your face. So if at any time you need to hop off to get a cup of tea, or you know, your daughter comes in because she has a burning question, we're just going to ask you to hide your camera. You can put a piece of paper over the camera like that, or there's also at the top of the rubrics, there's a button that says hide yourself. So your camera will go blank and then you could come back on. Because this is a 2-hour call and something might happen.
You might have to go to the bathroom. You might have to grab yourself a cup of tea. And I think for most of you, there's also going to be a stop video button at the bottom of your screen. You guys see that? Let's just practice real quick right now. Try stopping your video and then turning it back on. Stop video. Start video again. There you go. Good job, Heather. Good job, Margie. Good job, Dawn. Good job, Carolyn. Awesome. So
the other button you're going to want to be aware of is the mute button. So when your name pops up without the red slash through it, that means you're live and we can hear you. When the red slash is over it, that means you're muted. So let's try that all together. Go to the top, unmute yourselves, put your hands up in the air for your big yes for being here today. Ready?
Yes!
Yes, 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 yes. Excellent. And then go ahead and hit the mute button, and then notice if there's a red slash that goes over your name. And that will indicate that you are indeed muted. Well done. So for these calls, ladies, we're going to let you unmute and mute yourselves. And so that way you have control and you get the idea of it. If for some reason you forgot to mute yourselves, we'll help you out with that. But make sure that you know how to do that. Excellent. Question that Catherine has already. Is this about Zoom Love?
Do you want us to stay unmuted or do you want us to mute ourselves and only
unmute when we want to ask a question.
That's right. We only want you to unmute when you have a question. That way, as you're typing and you're writing your notes and all that's happening, that we can't hear you on the line. Thank you, Catherine. Awesome.
All right, it's the top of the hour. Should we do a big wahoo to welcome all the sisters to the call? Why don't you guys practice unmuting yourselves and giving yourselves and each other a big wahoo of congratulations to say, yes, we are here. We are growing our business this year. 1, 2, 3.
We're here.
Hey.
Supporting you, contributing.
Yes, yes.
Well done, well done. We are so excited to dive straight in. I'm so excited to be here with Claire and Serena.
So my name is Serena Andrea, and I am your trainer for this year. And I woke up this morning feeling so excited and so on purpose. And I couldn't be doing this by myself. Sage, I just want to put a big shout out to you and express my love. Where are you in my rubric? There you are. Shout out a big, big shout of love that all of us are here on this call today because of you, for the fire that you've walked through with so many people and how many lives you've touched. And you inspire us again and again, not just with your breadth of knowledge, but your deep commitment to humanity in your heart. So I just want to give a big bow to you today and thank you for being the magnet that's brought all of these gorgeous women together for this call. So congratulations, ladies, for hearing the call to start a heart-shaped business that creates sustainable income for yourself. So congratulations, because you said yes to support, and what that's going to mean is success for you. When I first signed up for this program, talk about niche soup. I didn't even know what niche meant. I thought that's the place where the sea urchins hung out at the edge of the ocean. I was telling stories in classrooms where storytelling was considered something for children. And when I wanted to make the leap into doing something more creative and more financially sustainable, I didn't know how to even find my niche, let alone know what it was. So I just want you to take a few notes on the first thing that I did. And the first thing that I did is I started talking to people. I followed the advice of my coach, and I talked to women who might be my niche, women who met the description of maybe needing business stories. And I began having conversations about what they needed and what they were struggling with. It was through those conversations I started to get an idea of like, well, maybe I could help a few of them with their stories. And that's when I got my first handful of beta clients. That was the next step, ladies. Write that down. Beta clients. Women that I thought I could help, and I gave it a try. Now, I'm going to tell you that confidence didn't come easy, but it came through action. It became through those conversations, those beta clients, where I started to build the confidence that I had something I could fulfill on. And I have to say that nothing bumped up my confidence in having a niche than exchanging my services for money, which also happened through the direct influence of my coaches who said it's time to ask for what you're worth and then give yourself a raise. Through the tools that I learned and the mentorship in this exact program about 5 years ago, I've more than quadrupled my income. And I just completed my 4th year of my group program and added another $30,000 to my income. So I am here as a testimonial and a testament to being a lifelong learner, being open to being coachable, and to choosing a niche for now and then letting it evolve over time. And that is where we're going to start with you ladies today, because we're wanting you to help more people and become more of who you are, be able to share that while increasing your income and growing your impact dramatically. So I'm curious if you could all just lean in a little bit and let us see your eyes.
Yeah. These are the women that you're going to be journeying with this year. These are the incredible leaders that have said yes to growing their business alongside you.
Yeah. And we all know that at certain points in this journey, we're going to come up against fear and doubt. And these are the women that are going to lean in and look you in the eyes and say, I remember what you said you wanted to create this year from the very first day. Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Give each other one last smile and one last nod to just let each other know, yeah, I'm going to have your back. Yeah, you matter here. Yeah, if you go invisible, I'm going to remember you, right? And as we buddy up and as we get to know each other more intimately, we mean that. It looks like a lot of women, but your presence matters. And we've got your back.
We keep this group small on purpose so that we can become intimate with all of you. Thank you for showing up, ladies. Today's call is going to be about orienting you toward this year together and what we're up to, helping you clarifying your message or the next step in clarifying your message, and teaching you how to really market downstream. So the first thing we want to orient you to is to grab your handouts in the client form if you haven't done that already. And there's kind of a dual message here, right? Because we want you to be looking at your handouts while you're on this call, or better yet, print them out so you have them to write notes on. But we don't want you multitasking. We want you really focused on the information because these training calls are so jam-packed with exceptional information that you can use now and for the next 3 or 5 years of your business. So again, we're looking at your handouts or you've got them printed out.
I will never forget what it felt like to sign up for my first $10,000 coaching program. Raise your hand if this program has already been working on you, even though we've barely started yet. Yeah, totally. And Serena, you may want to try to see if you can make Claire a co-host as well. I think we can have 2 co-hosts. We changed the settings on our Zoom account yesterday. And I want to just speak a word for what it's like to be in a program like this and what it's like for myself as well to co-lead next to such incredible trainers. I want to just, some of you may not be as familiar with Serena as I am. I bet you're not. I bet you haven't sat naked in a hot spring with her. But what I want to say about this woman who's helping to train you this year is that you are so lucky to have her. She spent the last 5 years dedicating the majority of her life to becoming the entrepreneur and leader that you see in front of you today. She's a graduate of our programs. She's taken all of the principles and applied them to selling out her group programs. She leads performances all over the Bay Area, standing room only in some of these performances. Serena understands how to put offers together, how to be on camera, how to speak to your clients' hearts. She understands how to help you niche down in a way that every single one of you is going to benefit from this year. Claire and Shannon and the coaches that you have in Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy all have a unique set of skills, and they're all completely equipped to help you get clear on your message, find your clients, put your signature talks together, and do everything you're going to be doing this year to start serving clients and having those clients pay you. We're just really, really, really blessed to have them. Can we give them a big wahoo? Ready, everybody? We are so blessed. And I just remember that feeling of signing up for my own program, my own first $10,000 program, and being like, oh my God, you know what this really means? Yeah, I'm afraid of investing the $10,000, but what this really means is that I have to get to work. Yeah. And so what I want to say is that you're going to be doing these steps alongside an incredible tribe this year. And we have a whole year together. So just breathe into that, okay? Because if you try to do everything in a week, you're going to blow yourself out. But if you wait too long to start implementing the action steps, you're going to forget why you made the investment in the first place. Does that make sense? So we're looking for that in-between space where you're in action every week. Yeah, take a vacation here and there, take a week off here and there. We have the whole year together. But we're going to actually be giving you very clear action steps every week and very tangible action steps every month. If you follow the system, if you trust us and just rest into the support that this program has for you, my intention is that you can feel that feeling of relief of like, oh, these women know what they're doing. They've got me. What is that? Sorry. And they've got me. And as I put one foot in front of the other, I get to rest into knowing that as I put these different pieces of my business together, my clients are going to find me. And that's what's true. So it's an up level just to sign up. And there's no accident that you're here with this particular group of women. Raise your hand if you've already met somebody in this group who's supported you or helped you out. Awesome. And if you haven't yet, we're going to be giving you yet another nudge to grab a buddy today and do some practice so that you guys can really start stepping into the intimate connection that's possible in this group. You're going to want, in between now and the June retreat, you're going to want to have 2 or 3 women that you've gotten a little bit closer to. And then by the end of the June retreat, you're going to have like a solid 10 or 12 women in your phone so that you have this smaller group of women that you know more intimately. And you have this bigger tribe of women that are all holding you. One of the things that I know is true is that I've never stopped being uncomfortable taking the actions that I've had to take to grow $1 million company. I was nervous this morning. Serena and I were talking about how, yesterday about how it feels kind of like our first day of school. And what does happen is that you start to rewire your relationship with the discomfort. Raise your hand if you've already had a chance to read The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Awesome. So if you haven't read that book, I'm going to post a link on Facebook. It's my favorite book for really starting to look at the pattern, the voices that will try to keep you locked in comfort and safety this year. Because there's going to be voices that say things like, you can't do it that way. You're not cut out to be an entrepreneur. Who gives you the right to charge that much money? Right? Who do you think you are? You're going to have whatever version of those voices go on for you. And I don't know of any other book ever published that is as astute about calling us on our resistance, right? The resistance that every great man and woman, every great leader on the planet has ever faced. The Martin Luther Kings, the athletes, the Michael Phelps, the Brene Browns. Every great leader has faced the same resistance you are going to face this year. And this is an inner game as much as it's an outer game. So I'll post the link to War of Art on Facebook. It's by Stephen Pressfield. It's in your recommended reading list, which is in your forum. And we're going to recommend that you dive in and read that book this month. Now, I could even go so far as to say it's required reading. Like, we ask that you please read it. It will support you this year. We'll be referencing it again and again. And as you feel into what is this journey for you? What is your intention for this course? Where do you want to be a year from now? Do you want to be confidently serving 10 clients? Do you want to be joyfully serving 20 clients, and without stretching yourself so much that you blow out? Tony Robbins says we overestimate what we can get done in a year. Okay, don't pretend that if you've never been an entrepreneur before, if you've never served clients before, don't pretend that it's just super easy to go out and create a 6-figure income. It's not. The average coach and healer makes about, after 2 to 3 years, makes about $50,000 to $75,000 a year, right? So I don't tell you that to be dismal. I tell you that so that you can get really realistic with, where do you want to be in a year? Do you want to just replace the income that you're making in your job? Do you want to have your first 5 clients? Do you want to have served your first, So for some of you, it's like if by the end of the year you have a few paying clients, maybe you'll be thrilled, and that's awesome. For some of you, you're like, I really need to get to $5,000 a month, and I need to get there soon. So by the end of the year, I am at a confident $5,000 to $8,000 a month. But are you guys hearing me that you got to keep it realistic? Or else you're going to set your expectations so high that you're going to be making yourself wrong. You might be making this program wrong, and we're not going to be able to get you where we know we can get you, which is we know we can get you paying clients this year. Some of you guys are going to want to go fast, and we're going to be completely behind you to go fast. But what is your intention? And you don't have to decide on a number of clients in this moment. Some of you may just know that a year from now, you want to be confidently enrolling clients. Right? You just, that's enough of an intention. But we're just going to ask you to set an intention that's just not more than 4 or 5 words. And if you'd like to share, just raise your hand. The hand raise button is at the bottom of the screen. And let's go ahead and put a post in Facebook so that we can have you guys sharing your intentions on Facebook.
Yeah, that's done. That's up. So you can go over to Facebook. And on Facebook, we're asking you to post one word. One word that encapsulates that phrase, maybe for you, those 4 or 5 words that you're going to share.
Perfect. That's what I meant to say. One word. A one-word intention. So who wants to share their word to start us out? Don't everybody talk at once.
Abundance.
Who said that? Say your name.
Hey, Carol. Carol Berg.
Give Carol a kiss. Mwah.
I'd say follow through.
Who said that?
Me. Trissa.
Awesome. So for this call, when we share, let's say our name right when we start off the bat so we can get to know you.
Okay. Give her a kiss. Mwah. What about you, Spring? You got to unmute yourself. This is Zoom practice. We're practicing right now as we speak. Oh, we can't hear you. There might be something wrong with your microphone, Spring.
Okay.
Can't hear you now. You're going to have to play around with it. We'll come back to you at the end of the call. What about you, Catherine?
Yeah, this is Catherine, and the word is empowerment.
Ooh. Kiss for Spring and Catherine. And when you guys give kisses, the cool thing about giving kisses is what you're basically saying is, I want that intention too. And by the time we're done hearing 5 more intentions, every single one of you will have been able to integrate all of the intentions that have been spoken into the group. What about you, Jolynn?
Yes. My word is yes.
That is a good word. Kiss for Catherine.
Women feverishly
Kiss for Catherine. Mwah.
We've got women feverishly posting on Facebook, and we've got some beautiful ones over here. We've got clarity and fearless and prosperity, inclusion, trust, happiness, clarity, lots of confidence with explanation points and expansion. Yes, ladies, that's posting. Gorgeous.
I love them. I love them. I love them. All right, you guys. Kiss for everybody that's posted so that you can just integrate all of these intentions all at once. Ready? Mwah. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I remember when we first started this stage and I was in your classroom and you were blowing kisses and I was just like, oh, Jesus, who is this woman? And what I want to say is if anyone's having that, like have fun with it. Make it your own. Blow these kisses, like use hand gestures, whatever, doubles, like have fun with it, because what science says is when we get involved with our bodies, when we're learning, we're more likely to learn. And so this is one of Sage's, like, yeah, exactly, Elena. This is one of Sage's masterful teachings, like engage with us. So have fun with it. There's no right or wrong way to blow that kiss.
And we're going to be, we're about ready to dive into a bunch of content, 10 success keys. We want you to take notes on this. But we're going to be asking you guys to actually be involved. Like Serena said, research says you're 10 times more likely to remember when you're involved. So we may say things like, unmute yourself and let me know, are you picking up what I'm laying down? Let's try it right now. Are you picking up what I'm laying down?
Absolutely. Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
This group is getting like an A+. I mean, last year
I know.
it took time to get to that level of got it, girlfriends. All right, so let's dive into the 10 keys.
Awesome, Sage. Are you going to screen share that with us?
I'm gonna screen share once we go into the forum. I'll let you get started so we know what we're talking about.
I would love to, and I don't have that handout handy.
I think we're just staying on the script. Let's just stay on the script and share the first key.
Where is it?
Perfect.
There's no handout. We just want you guys to take notes, beautiful women.
Gorgeous. So that's one of the keys to success, ladies. Have some blank paper, your notebook right next to your desk every time you jump on these calls for not only taking notes of what you're learning, but the aha moments that might be coming up that you want to implement after the call. We also want to recommend that you make a binder, a special sacred place for your notes and for the information in the ELA forum. This is one of the #1 ways not to fall behind, to stay on course, and to be plotting your success. So if you haven't printed out all the materials in ELA, no shame, no worry, okay? Ladies, you can just, But what will be helpful for you on these training calls is to at least have printed out this month's training calls, this month's handout, so that you have those next to you, so you can keep track of what's going on and put those in a binder. And if you're having a hard time finding out where to get those handouts and where they are, we just want to remind you to re-watch or watch Sage's welcome video in the client forum, and that's what the screen looks like. She's in blue. Yep, that's the one. If you're still having trouble, there's no shame about not knowing how to push the right buttons. What we recommend is you reach out to support at Sage the Line right away. And this is different than the Facebook page, ladies. This would be an email that you send directly to email support at Sage the Line right away. And then they will support you to get to the handouts and the resources. And they will be there all year long to help support you with that. The other thing we want to really emphasize is interacting with this information is what's going to help it stick, what it's going to help make it your own, right? This is an experiential learning process. So we want you to take notes. Don't just pull them down virtually, like really get your hands on them. Also for questions, right? You may have questions pop up throughout the call, write those in the margin. Make sure you're tracking your own curiosity. Your question may be answered by another sister, and you may need to have the courage to raise your hand to get the question answered yourself.
And just a couple things about this forum I'd like to popcorn in.
Please.
So when you guys go to the welcome page, we're going to want to make sure that you fill out your commitment checklist just to get us all on the same page with what we're asking you to commit to this year. And you can find that commitment checklist right here on step 2 of your welcome page. We also invite you guys to sign up for inspirational text reminders. Jen was letting me know that only about half of you have signed up for the text reminders. The text reminders are going to be really helpful. You'll get a text the morning of the calls. Sometimes you'll get a text on a Monday morning just reminding you that you can do this, an inspirational quote from an awesome leader. You guys will want to sign up for these so that you guys can get these on your phone. They're really fun to keep you inspired and involved. Don't worry, we're not going to be texting you late at night. We're not going to text you random things. Like Serena was saying, the handouts are all underneath the classes section. We recommend that you guys print these out so that you can actually mark them up and write on them and really interact with them. One more thing you're going to want to be aware of in here is your coaching tab. Once you have your coaching assignment, and most of you have that in your inbox by now, you're going to be able to book with your coach starting today, and that's something that we recommend you do. Back to you, Serena.
Awesome. Thank you for orienting us with that. Beautiful. Get out of there. So every month is going to be very, very similar. The first Wednesday of the month from 10 to 12 is always going to be our training call. And there'll be a short time at the end for some Q&A. The bulk of our Q&A, the bulk of the interaction of your questions and the call, we want you to bring all your questions to us, big or small, is the second week of the month. Same time, same channel, here on Zoom. The third week of the month is what is a little bit different. We're not on Zoom, we're actually on a call. And each and every one of you will get an individual call number that you will call in on for the mastermind call. So what we recommend, again, that will come to you in an email, to take that mastermind phone number that's just for you and put it in 2 or 3 safe places. Put it in your phone, put it next to your desk, because you're going to be calling in that. There's going to be no camera, because those mastermind calls are a special moment where you get to be put in virtual classrooms and be practicing some of the tools that we're teaching you in this program. Don't want to miss those. And then the last week of the month is what we call integration week. And what we really recommend in that last week is you keep that 10 to 12 slot that you have every day of the month. And instead of being on a call, training or asking questions with us, you are working on your business, you are making time for a buddy call, you are implementing something, and that time you just use it. So it's just clocked in rhythmically for yourself that Wednesdays from 10 to 12, it's about me and my business. And what you'll see is that this time will actually help you stay on track. You'll get proven formulas to use with your clients to increase your income. And you will all have the possibility to add $1,500 to $10,000 a month to your income. And those of you who want to lead group programs, we want you to pay special attention to what we cover in this first call. So the first success tip that we really want to share with you, whether you're gathering one client at a time, you're up-leveling your business, or you're wanting to really launch a group program, is to begin getting comfortable with stretching yourselves. Safety is comfortable, but it won't stretch you. When you take the risk to step beyond your comfort zone and become a little bit more vulnerable, leap into the unknown 1 or 2 steps, even here in this forum, it's going to get a lot easier to do that with your clients. So success tips, stretch yourself within this group. It's a safe container. The third success tip is we want you to stay out of overwhelm. This is a drastic problem, right? Especially in a culture where busyness is considered successful and women are naturally good at multitasking. We can overwhelm ourselves. So what we were going to recommend to stay out of overwhelm is to focus on one thing at a time. And that's why we're asking you not to multitask during these calls. Stay focused on the training. We're also going to suggest that you consider unplugging or unsubscribing from other people that you're following. If you're watching other business models, we're going to suggest you just focus on doing this program at this time and get the most out of it. Because what we don't want for you ladies is for your head to be spinning in multiple choices all the time. Because science shows that we can only make so many decisions in a day before we burn out. We only have the capacity for so many decisions. Focus on clear and simple, elegant business strategies and get in front of your potential clients. That's what we want for you. And there's lots of ways to start. But what we want you to focus is on money producing activities and using the techniques and skills that we lay out in this program. Now, one of our secret agents.
And as we introduce our secret agent, for those of you that are taking copious notes, I just want to be really clear on where we are with the notes. Success tip number 1 was to get organized, print the handouts, stay organized, prioritize the calls, right? Don't miss a call just because something comes up. Prioritize these calls. We've had women getting on these calls while they're taking their kids to the doctor. They're just listening in on the phone while they're driving across town. That's how committed our clients are every year, especially the clients that get results. So number 1, get organized. Number 2, stretch yourself. Number 3, take that information diet, like Serena's saying, and unsubscribe from the people that you've been reading. Like if you're trying to launch a podcast and a YouTube channel and a Facebook Live campaign all in 1 week, you are probably not going to have success, right? So if you're listening to a lot of mentors telling you to do all different kinds of strategies, what we're going to recommend is you give us this year, this 1 year, where you focus in on the plan that we're giving you. Does that make sense? Because if you're trying to implement this plan and 3 other plans at once, that's exactly the spin out that stops businesses in the beginning. So one of your jobs today, write this down, is to go and do a little unsubscribe campaign. Get yourself unsubscribed from a lot of extra stuff that's coming into your inbox that's going to dilute what it is that you're doing here. The first year I took my business to $1 million, I used to travel every month. I was taking like 15 trips a year. The year I took my business to $1 million, I went down to like 4 or 5 trips. Does that make sense? I just was like, I know I need to focus. If I can get my company to this place where we're serving this many people, I'm going to free myself for the next 10 years. And that doesn't mean that you can never travel, but what would it be like if you really prioritize this year? Really give this your all. All right. Get organized, stretch yourself, take that information diet, and we're going to pass it to our secret agent. You want to tell them who it is, Serena?
I do. I'm going to break her out of the secret cabinet. Ladies, it is an honor to introduce to you one of our coaches for this program. Her name is Claire, and she is over the top amazing. She's a successful coach on her own. She is part of the Women Rocking business team. She is an incredible yogi of strength and grace. And what she brings in addition to all of that to the sales team is a heartfelt, feminine way of enrolling clients and teaching you how to do the same to enroll your perfect ideal clients into your program. Please welcome the one and only Claire Coote.
Oh, thank you, Sage and Serena, for a beautiful introduction. And I love being a little secret agent. Ninja's like my middle name. And I'm just so excited. Like I said in the video, I'm so excited for everybody that's on the call or listening to the recording. You made it. You're here. This is the beginning of your journey. And I'm just so thrilled to be a part of it. And the next tip that I want to share is, I think, a critical one, and it's part of the only reason why I am as successful as I am with sales and with yoga. It's all connected, is to give yourself the gift of focus. It's just, and it kind of piggybacks on the overwhelm. So when you're on these calls, there is a wealth, a flood of information. And I just recommend not multitasking on the calls. Close Amazon, close, Facebook. For me, it's Lululemon. Just close them and absorb. Allow yourself to absorb the information by not multitasking on the calls. And here's just the reality is you made an investment, right? You made an investment to actually be here. So give yourself permission to actually be here and be part of the program and show up to the calls. And they all matter. That it's just true. Each little nuance and big pieces that Sage and Serena go into, they all matter. They're all so critical to your success. So just don't miss the calls. Like really make it a priority. And how you show up here, how you show up by making this a priority and putting your focus here, it's directly correlated in affecting how your business is successful. I mean, when I look at Serena, when I look at Sage, when I look at the women that are actually making this work and building their dream business, they have a laser-like focus, and you can have that too. And one of the biggest things that we want you to focus on is how to have activities that you're doing every single day that are income producing. Period. They are producing income, like packaging your marketable transformation. Like, how do you define it? How, are you doing activities that are actually going to attract your ideal clients and actually make you money versus what Sage calls creating in the closet? Like, are you actually getting out there, getting more marketable, getting the ideal clients? And the more you really give yourself the gift of this time on these calls to be present, being here, making it sexy, like have a candle, get a cup of tea, get a cup of tea, be here, and just be with us and absorb as much as you can the information that's being shared, and you're going to be successful. Like the more you do that, the more successful you're going to be. And this program is really, it's truly unique. I cannot say with as much pride and joy of being on this team that this is truly a unique program. I hope you're seeing in my eyes and in my, like, I really mean this. It's so unique. And we're asking you to up-level yourselves in just a short amount of time. A year is actually really short for business. And Sage, Sharina, we want to give you all the tools. Shannon, but we can't come to your house. Like Sylvia, our client care goddess, who I know some of you who know, she calls it the meat bag. Like, we're not in your meat bag. we can't actually be in your body and pick up the phone and do follow-up calls. You know, we will be with you energetically. We're holding space for you while you're doing all those things and focusing. But just know that this program and your success is dependent absolutely on your ability to focus and implement all the information that we're sharing. The fifth tip, it's one of my favorite tips, is join us for the live events. You made an investment, right? And I want to tell you a little bit more about them. And I'll just share for myself, if I had known the power of my very first retreat with my mentor, and I know Serena, like, which she would probably say the same, is that I would have, if I had known the breakthrough I would have had in my business, I would have paid double. That is right. Serena's like, yeah, totally. Right? Totally. Like, I would have paid double for the breakthrough that I know I was going to get. And it's just the beginning. All right. So the first retreat you have is the June event. It's the Wealth Retreat. The dates are all in your forum. It's incredible. This is where we're going to help you actually step by step develop your program, whether you're, you know, really wanting the group or you're focusing one-on-one. Like, we're going to actually step by step literally help you develop your program and actually make money. We really want you guys to stay on site. That's just, there's nothing like immersion, conversion. Like, you're going to change if you're all there in the flesh. It's an amazing retreat center, 1440. They had me at Santa Cruz. Like, you know, it's going to be beautiful. And Serena will also probably agree with this. Going to your first retreat is a rite of passage.
Yeah.
It is a rite of passage. You will enter one person and leave completely different. And it's really the magic of being in person with your mentors, with your coaches, with your tribe. So make sure you book your room through Friday and avoid the seat deposit. I mean, I just, with my whole heart, we want to be with you. We want to have a breakthrough for you. So
I totally
make sure you
agree with you.
And just to be really clear too, you guys, we have waived the seat deposit for any of you guys. Nobody here pays a seat deposit. But to be really clear, 1440 has another retreat going on while we're there. It's on the other side of campus. We won't even see them very much. But we do need you guys to book your room so that you are sure to get a room at 1440. And we actually require you to stay on site. And part of the reason we require you to stay on site is because of years of doing these retreats and having the women stay on site have one experience and women that stayed off site have another experience. And so we just have your best interest in mind when we say you show up, you park your car, you put your stuff in this gorgeous retreat center room overlooking the mountains and the trees, and you get to be immersed in the future self version of you, the woman leader version of you, who, you know, where we are committed to you being a year from now is that you never have to decide, can I go to this retreat because I can afford it? Can I do this training because I have the money in my bank account? We know how painful not having the money to do the trainings that you want to do is. Since Claire and Serena have been in our world, they fly all over the world, man. Claire just went to Hawaii. Serena's back and forth to Colorado to study with her spiritual teacher. We know that part of the reason you guys want to be making money is so that you can go to any retreat you want to and be a lifelong learner. And so we need you to have that experience being on site with us, being a part of the sisterhood. And we know that for some of you it's a stretch. And we ask you to stretch into it and come up with that investment, because I think Serena would agree, you'll see a return on the investment to come to the retreat.
Yeah, that's the stretch we're talking about, ladies. And for many of you, you know, you might be short on cash flow. And that was my truth when I first joined this program. And I just have to say, I learned by example. My first year on retreat, I stayed at a youth hostel, like whatever, 10 blocks away, because I thought, you know, that would save me the money I needed to do that. And I slept terrible. And I was shuffling back and forth and always just felt like I was a little bit on the outside. And if I look back and do it again, I'd be like, I would just do whatever I could to stay on site so that I could feel like I was getting everything and I was included and that there was no back door for me to get everything that I needed. So we really, really want you to do that and brainstorm with your buddies if you're struggling on how to come up with the funds to make it happen. But as a team, we've really found the most affordable place to do our retreat so that you can all be there.
Oh, and keep in mind that the room rate includes all your meals. And they're organic, amazing. It's the best food at any retreat center I've ever been to. And I'm not, you know, we actually didn't have a great experience with the food at our last retreat center. And it's one of the reasons why we switched, because we want you guys full of organic, healthy vegetables and proteins. We know you can learn better when you're in that environment. So success tip number 4 was that focus equals freedom. Success tip number 5 was to attend the live events. And success tip number 6, and for those of you who are going to be raise your hand if you know you want to be leading your own group programs within the next 1 to 2 years. Okay, so pay attention to how we're going through these success tips, right? Because you're going to want to be we're laying out the context for the program. Does that make sense? This is more about context than it is about content. Write this down. Context actually matters about 10 times more than content. Are you guys picking up what I'm laying down? Can I have an uh-huh? Are you picking up what I'm laying down?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So good. So we're always wanting you guys to be getting the learning on 2 levels, right? So you're also thinking to yourself, okay, so they're laying out all these parameters for my success this year. This is what I'm going to be needing to do with my clients. How do you prepare your clients to be successful in your world? So one of the things that we're going to recommend that you do is that you step into connection, the idea that connection equals currency, and that you use the Facebook page. Raise your hand if you've already had a great experience on the Facebook page. Somebody's loved you up, you felt seen, you felt visible. Yeah. There's no accident for that, right? Like the more visible you are in our Facebook community, the more visible you're going to be comfortable being out there in front of your potential clients. So this is really one of the things that's a big difference between you being successful fast, and that's about you being visible here and then bringing that visibility out there. So that's what the Facebook page is for. It's for your visibility. It's for you to get support. It's a safe place for you to come when you're feeling like you just want to give up. But it's also a place that we ask you to be positive, okay? That we ask you to, yes, if you need emotional support, great. Just remember, this isn't therapy, it's business coaching. And I say that with total love, that if you bring your need for emotional support, eventually you also let us know what you're committed to, right? Here's what I'm feeling right now, but I want you guys to know I'm committed to greatness and I'm committed to getting back out there so that we as a community can be positive and lifting each other up together. Now, here's what Facebook is not a place for. Oh, I'm just curious, raise your hand if you are less comfortable on Facebook, like Facebook is new for you. Okay, thank you for your honesty. I saw a bunch of hands go up. You guys are not alone. Thank you for embracing this part of our program. And we're going to recommend that you do embrace this part of our program, even though it might not be super comfortable. You guys don't have to have a big public Facebook profile to be in our Facebook community. You know, you don't have to go out and make friends with everybody that you went to elementary school with, right? You don't have to do that. Just get a Facebook profile that you can play in our community. And if you need support with that, again, email the support@SageLevine address and Sylvia will help you with that. But there's a lot that happens on Facebook. We don't want you to miss out on that. Now, one of the great things about Facebook and the reason we model this for you, we put a lot of thought into this. Do we do a member page on Facebook, or do we do it somewhere else? There's a reason we do it on Facebook, because many of you are already there. And guess who else is on Facebook? You guys know? Who else is there?
Our clients.
That's right. Your future clients are on Facebook. So we actually want to teach you the very tool. You guys, we have $1 million company because of Facebook. Do you know that like 85% of our clients find us on Facebook these days, right? Like we can be resistant to Facebook, but what we're saying then is we're resistant to one of the #1 ways we can get clients. So thank you for playing with us. Have fun with it. We're going to be teaching you Facebook tools to, get to find your clients this year. And here's what Facebook is not a place for. It's not a place for soliciting your own services. So if you're doing a video or you're doing a webinar and you want to invite your fellow Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy tribe, invite us as colleagues. Does that make sense? I'm doing a video tomorrow on Facebook. Would any of you be willing to come and support me? We're going to be like, yes, 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 yes. We want that. What we don't want is, hey, I'm offering this really cool free breakthrough session, and I want to sell you into my thing. No, that's not what Facebook is for, because it'll just change the whole vibe of our page. We don't sell anything on Facebook. Our Facebook page is a sacred place for support. Does that make sense? Another thing that Facebook is not for, and that we just want to underline in this tribe so that we can create the most powerful container for your success this year, that Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy is a gossip-free zone. Okay? So what does not happen here is people gossiping about each other or talking behind each other's backs. We ask, and when you guys signed your contract to be with us this year, you actually signed that you agree to be in a gossip-free zone. And the reason that we do that is to protect every single one of us from the, just the temptation to gossip. And, we all find ourselves sometimes, falling into lower level of behaviors in subtle ways. We're human, we're imperfect, we're not asking you to be perfect, but what we're asking you to do is to hold yourselves and your sisters to a higher level of accountability around self-responsibility.
Yeah, Sage, I want to add to that.
Yeah.
I love that. What Sage is pointing to, in addition, is the level of safety we want in these Facebook groups. Because on the Facebook page, it is a place for us to talk about our fears and say what we're up against before we have our big breakthrough. And we want to make that Facebook page safe enough so you women can express what's really going on and move through it. So we don't want any talking about that. And in addition to the selling piece, imagine what it would feel like if we're saying everyone focus, but then the women on the page are saying, hey, go to my friends, da-da-da. Oh, you should subscribe for this checklist over here. And there's lots of static. So it's about keeping the purity of the Facebook page, and we would just love everyone's support on this. And if someone happens to post something that's a little on the edge of that, just know that the coaches are going to graciously take your post down and send you a message and just be like, this is just not in alignment. Would you repost like this? And then you'll get a chance to repost, because like Sage said, sometimes we forget and we get excited. Last year, one of our friends posted one of her dear friends was launching a program, and it was like, it cost this much money, and she was so excited, and she just forgot. We don't sell on the Facebook page. So we just took that post down, sent her a friendly reminder, and she cleaned it up.
Thanks, you guys, so much. And the other thing that happens in this program is that we all have times that we forget that we can do this. Raise your hand if you know that might happen to you. Maybe, sort of maybe, right? So what we're asking you to do is that this is also a collusion-free zone. If you're on the phone with your buddy and she's like, I just don't think I can do this, I'm mad at my coach because my coach is trying to get me to do such and such, and I think she's wrong. Right? We're in a community where we're not colluding, right? Where we're listening and then we're lifting each other up. Do it with me. We're lifting each other up, right? We're lifting each other up so that we remember when we're in the phone and we want to be like, I know, Claire was so mean. She was trying to get me to book a speaking engagement too. I don't know why she thinks I can do that, right? So
Serena's so bossy.
We get tempted to be like, I don't know who Sage thinks I am. Does she think I'm this person that could just make this video? Yes, in fact, she does think that. So what we ask you to do is we ask you to actually remind each other who you are. that there's space to listen and say, sister, I get it. I freaking know how hard this is. I've wanted to throw my computer out the window a few times too, and I'm not going to let you play small right now. I want to remind you that you're capable of this. You've got this. You can do this. And that's the kind of community we're cultivating. So we'll be talking to you more about that this year, but thank you for helping us to create that. Shannon also reminded me to remind you. Do you guys know who Shannon is? Shannon's amazing. Let me just show you Shannon really quickly. This is Shannon. Hey, woo, 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 woo. She's amazing, and she's one of your trainers and coaches this year. You will see her next week. And today, she is with her daughter on a field trip into nature, and that's the kind of company that we have. We all have each other's back so that we can all do the things that are also important to us. But I just wanted to make sure that you know who she is because she's the head of coaching. She's going to be supporting all of you this year. And we all want to remind you guys that your coaching sessions are better used now. Does that make sense? Do not save your coaching sessions like $100 bills in your wallet. Okay, use them now. Now is when you need them. You need them to get clear on your niche. You need them to get clear on your program, who your clients are, where you're going to go do your first speaking engagement. So book your first coaching session today. They expire in March. The reason they expire in March is because our coaches, we always need our coaches to be graduating you guys and wrapping up the program and then onboarding our new clients at the end of the year. So we need you to be using them in the first 9 or 10 months of the year. And we've actually found that we've tracked this. The women who use their coaching sessions mostly in the first 6 months or so of the program, 6 to 8 months of the program, are having better results. Does that make sense? So use the coaching now. We'll be letting you know how you can get more coaching if you need it. That is a possibility. And please do honor our coaches. You guys, our coaches are so busy. So we do ask for a 24-hour commitment. If you have a coaching session on the calendar, you need to give us 24 hours notice if you're going to miss that coaching session, unless it's some crazy emergency. The other thing that I'm going to recommend you do is when our coaches take the time to give you feedback on the Facebook page, listen to them. Does that make sense? Because you're going to have all kinds of people giving you feedback on the Facebook page. You're going to have your fellow students giving you feedback and your coaches giving you feedback. And I'm not saying that your fellow students are wrong, but what I'm saying is that the people we really want you listening to are your coaches who really know how to build these businesses. So please don't take it lightly when they give you coaching. They are not criticizing you. They are taking the time to make you great and to help you get clear. And sometimes your coaches are going to give you feedback on the Facebook page that is different than what you wanted. Are you picking up what I'm laying down? But see if you can work with that, because that ability to work with what we're giving you and keep engaging with it and asking us questions about it and see if you can start to kind of be pliable enough to really take the coaching, I promise you guys are going to go faster.
I love that you're saying that, Sage. And in this pliability, one of the things that your coaches will often be directing you back to are the handouts and templates to make sure that you've gone through all the steps. So please also don't get discouraged if your coaches are sending you back to information for you to make sure that you did it. Because we're not going to do the work for you, right? We want you to have an authentic business. We want you to create a business that you can stand behind. So we really want you to be coming up with the material that you bring to the Facebook page. And one last thing about coaching and canceling sessions if something comes up. You don't need to contact your coaches. Everything is in that link to our schedules. So canceling as well as making those appointments is all at your fingertips. Thanks for letting me add that, Sage.
Absolutely. I love it when you add, baby. All right, so success tip number 7 was to use your coaching now. Success tip number 8 is to practice with a buddy like every week. We're going to recommend that by the time you guys have gotten to the June retreat, you've practiced with 2 or 3 buddies, not even just one. Does that make sense why we would want you to practice with more than one buddy? Does that make sense, you guys? You're going to get different
practice what?
perspectives.
We're going to ask you to practice with your buddies. First, you need to get a buddy. And what we recommend is you having more than one buddy, because we are busy people. And oftentimes we have family, or maybe we're in a different time zone. So you want to have a couple women that you can rely on. And I think the question for clarification, Sage, is what would you like them to practice?
Yeah, I was confused.
Yep, we're going to be telling you exactly what to practice today. And each month there's going to be different challenges of what we'll want you to practice with a buddy. But for now, you have a buddy template in your forum. Did you guys see that? It's in your classes. Dun, 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 dun. And it's right here underneath your
As Sage is finding that, one of the reasons we give you the buddy template is so that you stay business focused. You definitely want your buddies to help you with mindset and blocks and emotional issues. But what we want you to be really mindful of is that your buddy sessions don't turn into a therapy. Sometimes we do need therapy, especially when we're about to like go out and be visible. But what we want you to do is really stay focused on action steps, getting into action and being held accountable. And it looks like Sage has got the template up now.
We love this template because it gives you guys time to just check in. How are you doing? What can you celebrate? I can celebrate that I got on the call. Is there something I need to clear? Is there something I need to just make space for? Gosh, this is feeling really hard, right? Make sure that you set the timer. You guys can go 5 minutes each way. This isn't about solving every single problem for each other. And then it's a time to actually ask questions and get feedback. Here's who I think my clients are. Here's what I think my niche is. What do you think about this talk title? Okay, there's a bunch of ideas in here about where your buddy sessions can go. You guys can also just straight up practice the grow model in your buddy sessions. But we're going to recommend that you grab another buddy today. That'll be part of the homework we'll talk about at the end of the call. And keep getting to know each other and practicing. And can you guys see how having that form in front of you, that buddy template form, will keep you guys on track so that you could actually use 45 minutes really productively rather than just getting on the phone with no structure, right? This is a very specific call that's really meant to contribute to you. We've had many women come back and go, oh my God, that buddy template call just saved me, right? All right, ladies, that was success tip number 8. Practice with your buddies. Let's talk about 9 and 10, and then we're going to do some niche coaching. Raise your hand if you're ready for niche coaching. All right, back.
I see some of the ladies' hands have been raised. If those questions are still pertinent, keep your hands up. If not, go ahead and put them down for this next round. At the top of your screen, there's the 3 little dots with hand raised, and that's how you do it. But first, let's actually do number 9. Bend, don't break. So ladies, bring your hands up above your head. One of the things that you're going to do in this course is get in touch with what it means to take care of an entrepreneurial body. What does it take to keep a woman's body in top shape as she stretches and grows? Doing everything you've already been doing in your life, and now stretching into the first year of this program. So what we're going to recommend is you up-level your self-care, because the risk of breaking is really strong. Women are not machines, and we're not men. We have a very complex system. So for each and every one of you, look into what does self-care mean for you. For me, it meant getting chiropractic help, steady weekly chiropractic help to help with my fidgety neck. And then on the other side, I need to dance at least twice a week in order to keep my spirits up. So that was my first thing that I did as I started growing. And I have to say, ladies, that is what has kept me in the game. I haven't gotten a cold in close to 3 years now. I haven't caught the flu. I am so much more resilient, and I'm able to show up with that much less stress. So tip number 9, bend, don't break. Number 10. Awesome. I see some of you jotting down notes, and I'm hoping in the margins you're putting down, yeah, I want to get back to swimming once a week. I want to commit to 30 minutes of walking first thing in the morning or the last thing of the day. Jot down those notes. You already know what is the thing that is going to be your commitment up leveling to your body? Most of you already know. So just say yes to that. Success tip number 10.
The last one.
Commit to choose a message. Now, what we really just want to highlight is evolution. We as women entrepreneurs are not outside of nature, and everything in nature evolves to fit and be successful in their niche. And so what we want to really put in your mind is your niche will evolve. We have a system to make that evolution quicker so you will survive and be part of the survival of the fittest. And your challenge really is to pick a niche. And sometimes we say pick a niche for now by the end of the June retreat. And we say that because we want you to survive and make the most out of what I was talking about before in my story about talking to your potential clients, having those beta clients, and actually starting to get paying clients as quickly as possible. And we're going to talk about that more in a moment, about how you create that funnel to get those clients. But tip number 10, choose and commit to a message for your niche for now. Can't stress that enough. Sage, do you want to talk about the client funnel and how to trust that?
I would be so excited to do that. I bet you guys are ready to actually see how your clients are going to come to you this year. So this is the initial entrepreneurial leadership client freedom funnel. And you guys have this. We just want to bring your attention back to this because this is how clients come to you. Hint, hint, hint. These are your income producing activities, right? So you want to be asking yourself, do I want to be chatting with one potential client at a time, or do I want it to go a little faster? Raise your hand if you want it to go a little faster. Raise your hand if you're pretty okay with it going one at a time. Awesome. So both are good, right? The nice thing about this one-to-many approach, you guys, is that this is where you get out there in front of several people at once. You start doing your own talks, your own workshops. You're also speaking to established groups. And notice that we actually made those two different categories, and we want you doing both of them. Does that make sense? Because hosting your own talks and marketing your own talks it's a bit of a different strategy than which groups are already meeting in my communities and surrounding communities, or even online where I could plug in as a guest speaker. Those are two different strategies, and we're going to be inviting you to do both of those within the next couple of months. And then by later this summer, we're going to start teaching you how to get your first online funnel together. Okay, we're going to be doing a training right after the June retreat on how to actually start using Facebook to pull clients off the internet. All right, so that information is all coming very quickly. And for now, we're going to recommend that you put your next speaking engagement on the calendar if you don't already have one, and that you also start working with people that you know, your local community. Who do you know that might know a group that you could get in front of? And those are the strategies we're going to be talking about in the next few months, and getting you everything that you need to do a talk and put a talk together that really attracts your ideal clients. Because it's great to get out there and speak. You know, something that I did when I first joined, when I first launched my business, was I joined Toastmasters. We talked about that during the VIP day. If you're wanting to get more comfortable in front of groups, I highly recommend that you think about joining Toastmasters or joining a speaking circle where you can regularly get in front of people, because what happens is you start to lose the intensity around it, right? You become a lot less nervous when you're not just doing it once a month, right? But what we want to make sure that you do is that you also take the time to craft those talks, those videos that you're doing in a way that magnetizes your clients to you. And then the whole goal is to get discovery sessions on the calendar, free consultations. Now, here's the thing. I know some of you, and I know that some of you are going to really want to avoid talking to people in order to get clients. You're just going to straight up want to avoid talking to people. Well, can't they just hire me off the internet? Couldn't I just do a speaking engagement and they just walk up and give me their credit card? Couldn't that just happen? No, that's actually not how it happens, people. I love every single one of you. You will have to talk to people. And guess what? You may find, even though it's scary and you may find that you're resistant to it, that is the favorite part of your business at the end of the day. That those conversations are the conversations that lend themselves to having potential clients have breakthroughs, be served from you. And that's the chance where you get to package your services. Many of you have been seeing clients for years. And now you get to package your services and say, guess what? I'm not just charging $125 a session anymore. I'm charging $497 a month. And here's everything that you get. And you're going to up-level yourself into a whole new level of receiving. Let's talk a little bit about the master plan. And I'm going to show that, Serena, so that you can share that with everyone.
I love this plan. Ladies, let's take a big breath. In the name of stretching without breaking, I love this master plan because it brings it down to a concise, manageable thing to wrap our minds around. And it's true, everything on this plan has multiple steps and you'll have multiple action plans. But these are the things to wrap your mind around. I would recommend printing this out, keeping it next to your desk to avoid overwhelm. Because these are the top things that you are going to be succeeding at this year. First one is choosing and committing to your starter niche by the June retreat, right? The next thing is creating a marketable program that has 6 to 10 steps. Learn how to give an effective discovery session, which is also an enrollment conversation. Launching your simple one-page client attraction website. And those have gotten simpler and simpler in just the short time I've been in business. Translating your marketable program into a signature talk, a skill that you can wash, rinse, and repeat over and over again. Delivering that signature talk and offering the discovery sessions. How does your signature talk and those discovery sessions go hand in hand in positioning you as someone who is serious about doing business in a really feminine way? And then lastly, and celebratorily, enrolling your clients, filling your practice, and your group programs. This is the master plan. This is what we'll be covering this year in the program. And we really want you to keep your eye on this ball. What we also would like to do is challenge some of you to take that list and already check off any of those things you've already done, or you already have skill in those areas. And just really acknowledge that you may not be a beginner in this game of online marketing or in the realm of business or in having a private client. So just mark off where you have already succeeded and keep that really close. Claire, did you want to add something to that about an action step that they can take today?
Yes, I do. So this goes back to what I mentioned earlier about being laser focused. And when I look at the other women that are super successful in their businesses and other leaders, this hands down is a skill. They're able to focus on one next action step. And I know in my heart that is absolutely critical in your success. So I want to, again, with like Serena, stretch you. Right? What would be the next action step you could focus on today? Like what is your client enrollment goal? Right? Just try it on. Right? What is your next speaking engagement goal? And I want you to think about how many clients that you would like to work with in the next 6 months before November 1st. So just going ahead and planning that out. And just also know that you're new. This is a brand new thing that you're taking on, and you may want to start with like maybe 3 beta clients or practice clients and just keep it realistic. Your goal during this process is to evolve. You might have a gold, silver, and a bronze version of your goals. I think that structure, like even for me and just working with other clients and sales teams, it's like it's a game changer when you're able to stair step yourself with your goals. So I'm curious, who wants to share a goal or a question? Let's hear some.
Does that make sense, you guys? So when Claire says bronze, silver, and gold, we love this formula in Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy. We'll be using this all year long. rather than setting this one number and getting so like push-pull around this one number, we're not going to do a big talk on goal setting today because we want to do some niche coaching. But we want to get you in the habit of like, you know, if I could have 3 clients by November, oh my gosh, I would be thrilled. But if I could have 7 clients by November, I would be really, really, really stoked. So maybe my bronze goal is 3 and my gold goal is 7, right? So that you guys have, and the silver might be somewhere in the middle. The silver might be like 5, okay? So yeah, who wants to share? What are you thinking? Go for it, Kaya.
So my goal is to start a new program in the end of June. And my bronze would be 3 clients enrolled with maybe a couple beta clients also included in that. My silver would be 5 or 6. And my gold that I'm totally going for is 10.
Right. Kiss her, Kaya. Totally see that happening for you.
I love how concise you were, Kaya, and I love that your enthusiasm rose to the top. So ladies, so we can get to most all of you who want to share today. See if you can make it concise like that for us. Sam Shields, you've had your hand up for a long while. Will you unmute yourself?
I bet your hand might have been up from way before when you were sharing your intention.
Yes, you're right. I had it up for way, way before.
You want to share with us?
You know what I really, well, what I'd really like to share with the bugging me is what I want to tell everybody else is that I took the ECL and I literally had to take a pair of winter boots back that I had bought to make the cost of it. And because of all the free generosity, the wonderful free stuff that you guys put up, I had paid that course off before it started.
Oh!
What was the one thing you did that these women might want to hear about? Did you get a client from a speaking engagement? What's one thing?
It's the free talks. It's last week I gave 2 free talks. I signed up 14 new clients and 3 of them for the long term. I booked 2 people this morning before class for my next retreat.
I'm so glad you said that. Raise your hand if you're inspired. Hey guys, if Sam can do it, you can do it. Kiss
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Everything you're going to make mistakes at and all that crap, don't worry about it.
Just go do it. Just go do it.
Yes, the program works if you work it.
Boom.
And also, I want to say one more thing. Lean on each other because that, I think, the tribe made the most difference to me.
Yeah. Thank you. Big kiss for you. Mwah.
Mwah. Thank you so much.
Ellen, down there in the corner. Let's hear from you. Do you have goals that you'd like to share with us?
Did you say Samara?
Ellen, we can't hear you. It looks like it's no worries. Tamara, where are you? I hear you.
Tamara, go for it if you want to share your goal, honey. I think Ellen, Ellen, keep playing with your microphone, sweetheart.
Oh, okay, I think I got it.
Well, I have some good news and also a learning experience. I came home from Santa Cruz so excited to launch a program. And so I put out 90 days to knowing, and I was hoping for 8 clients, my gold goal, and I got 3. But after doing it, I realized I had done a premature, whatever you called it. Nonetheless, the 3 clients have started already, and that's really great. And I launched the program at the highest price I've asked for something like that, $997 for those 3 clients. And so I'm thrilled, and I've learned a lot about what I didn't do that might have gotten me the gold standard. So thank you.
Congratulations, lifelong learner.
Kiss. All right, you guys, I want to show you one more thing. I love hearing these celebrations. Oh my God, Serena and I are grinning from ear to ear, and Claire. So you guys, we actually really encourage you guys to print this out and fill it out. Does that make sense? Pen to paper. There is something very different about pen to paper when you're looking to create something you've never created before, so that you can keep track of yourself and check things off when you actually accomplish them. And then print out the 10 keys to financial success, right? Go through these. Speak these out loud in the mirror, right? Remind yourself that your vision is bigger than your to-do list and that making money is a part of your spiritual path. All right, these are very powerful. And then you guys will be talking a little bit more about this map next week on the Q&A call. But this map is a reminder that you have to have all 4 directions firing in your business, right? You've got to actually have that vision that carries you through. You've got to be willing to get into action. You've got to be willing to take the money seriously, ask for the sale. And then you've got to have those proven plans that you're resting into. Just like some of these women are saying, I've already gotten clients. Guess what? That's because the plan works and you don't have to do the plan perfectly. And that's what I love about it. You guys can do the plan half-ass, excuse my French, if you want, and you're still going to start seeing momentum. So now what we're going to be doing is getting you working on your what do you do statements. What do you do? Who do you help? Here are the rules. The rules are 1 sentence. Simple language, no metaphors, ladies. This is not the time to be super metaphorical and creative. Believe it or not, the simpler your what do you do statements are, the more they're going to land with who you're sharing. You can be flowery and metaphorical in a lot of other parts of your business. Does that make sense? You can bring metaphors in, you can bring creative language in, but when you're talking about the simple fact of what you do or the simplicity of a signature talk title, we've got to make sure that it passes the face test. It's understood by a 12-year-old because people actually buy at a level 3 on the scale of 1 to 10. People do not buy at a level 10 of expertise. Does that make sense? One of the most popular ebooks that's ever sold online, this ebook was released like 8 years ago and it sold like $5 million worth of copies in a matter of days. You want to know what the title was? You want to know?
Yeah.
Stop Divorce Now. You guys get how simple that is? Simple is gold in marketing language. Many of you guys are incredible writers, you're incredible poets, you're incredible artists. You're going to have a chance to bring that into your business, but it's not with your what do you do statement, your title. Does that make sense? I know some of you are going to be like, no, I came up with the perfect, most amazing language to inspire people. And Claire and Serena and Shannon and I are going to suggest something on Facebook that's going to be like so simple. And you're going to be like, I want to poke my eye out. You're making me sound like a dummy. And trust me when I say we are trying to make you successful. Simple wins the race in marketing. And here's what happens. Somebody asks you what you do at a party. You know, I was literally at an event last weekend here in San Diego. What do you do? I help women entrepreneurs get to 6 or 7 figures working 12 days a month or less. Oh my God, how do you do that, right? If I had said I help women leaders, you know, harness their courage and create businesses that are a true expression of their soul, do you think I would have had anybody asking me questions about it, right? So your what do you do statement, the whole purpose of it is to give people enough information that they will either ask a question or not. Does that make sense? That's the whole thing. You just want to know, are they going to ask me a question about it, and are we going to engage in a conversation or not? Because if they're not interested in engaging in conversation, you can just do whatever you want to with that. You could say next and move on to the next person if you want to. All right. So we are going to dive in to giving you some time to actually fill out this template for your what do you do statement and get some coaching around who are these clients that are looking for you and how do you niche down, right? Because just like Serena said, it's all about niching for momentum. This niche is not a death sentence. You don't have to do it for the rest of your life. But if you can find that group of people that you're willing to focus on for a couple years, you know, you will set yourself free. The riches, write this down, the riches are in the niches. The riches are in the niches, right? If you get a niche, if you choose a niche, you'll get rich. And if you don't choose a niche, life is a bitch. All right, so I think you get me. So let's see who's got your hands up specifically to dive in and ask questions around who your clients are and your niche. And then we're going to be giving you a little assignment today to make a video. Yes, a video. That's going to be your assignment this week, to make a short 90-second video letting us know what your what do you do statement is, so that you can actually get to practice it on camera. I saw Jeanette's hand go up. What do you got, Jeanette?
Hi, Sage. It's so great to talk to you. Thanks so much.
You are welcome.
So I wrote down, I help women leave their 9-to-5 jobs to unleash their more creative, abundant, purpose-filled life.
I love it. And I think if you're in a conversation with somebody, it could sound a little flowery. Would you agree?
Yeah. That's after you
like
example. I was like, better.
I really like the first half of it. I help women leave their 9-to-5 jobs that might be draining their life energy, right? And I help them create a purpose-filled career that they really love. You know, you're looking for simple and conversational is what you're really looking for. So it's not even so much what I would say, it's what you would say, but you want it to roll off your tongue, right? I help women leave their 9-to-5 jobs that are draining their, that might be really draining their soul. And I help them create a career they absolutely love. That's a true expression of themselves, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And remember, it's actually not about wordsmithing. Can you feel it? It doesn't actually have to come out of your mouth the exact same way every time. It's more about getting the idea of it. Raise your hand if you know you could get caught in wasting like an hour or 2 or 20 hours of your life wordsmithing. Raise your hand if that's you. Yep, I get it. I like to overthink things true. It's one of the reasons why you guys are here. You goddesses are here. You're overachievers like us. Just pay attention to yourself when you're doing this, because the sooner we can get you your what do you do statement, the sooner we can get you booking your signature talks. That's where your clients are going to come from. They're not going to come from you having the perfect, most amazing what do you do statement. Jeanette, I love it.
Thanks so much.
You want to try it one more time, one of those ways?
Yeah, I help women leave their draining 9-to-5 jobs and help them find a fully expressive, passion-filled work.
Yes, and I think it's not just about finding, but it's more about creating. Does that make sense?
Creating.
Yes. Yeah, I help them create a passion-filled career path they love. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Kiss for Jeanette.
Thank you.
Who else do we have, Serena?
We've got Pam Carlin. Hi, Pam. You're live.
Hello. Hey. So I help emerging women entrepreneurs create a program and a client experience that sells.
Nice. Say it one more time.
I help emerging women entrepreneurs create a program and client experience that sells.
I love how specific you are in naming that you help the program part of it and that you're naming the result that it sells. Do you notice, ladies, how that brings a picture to my mind, your mind, our mind? Something specific. I love it. You're also very clear about describing that you help women who are emerging and entrepreneurs, and that helps pop up a face. This is one of the things, ladies, we want you to consider when you're saying your niche out loud. Does it describe an actual living person? Are those people like that? Do you have anything to add to that, Sage?
Yeah, I really like it, Pam. One of the questions that I have is, would a woman consider herself an emerging entrepreneur? You know, I'm seeing some people kind of shake their heads. Like, I'm just seeing, like, raise your hand if you feel we might be able to find a better word to describe the sort of emerging entrepreneurs. I think there's a time and a place for that phrase, but I don't know if it belongs in a what do you do statement, and just in terms of the simplicity. Pam, I wonder if you wanted to say something like, I help women entrepreneurs. The other thing is that you have some big phrases in there. You know, a client experience, create a client experience. I have to stop and think a little bit about what that means, right? Versus if you were to say, I help women entrepreneurs that are kind of new to their craft, or I help women entrepreneurs that are in their first year of business get really clear on what they're selling and how to find all their clients and enroll their clients. Because I'm completely tracking with you at that point.
Okay. Okay.
I'm seeing some heads nodding. So I'm thinking people are agreeing with that languaging.
Okay.
You want to say it one more time?
So I help women entrepreneurs new to business create a clear program.
Get clear on what they're selling.
Get clear on what they're selling. Yeah. Clear on what they're selling and how to enroll clients.
Yeah. Yeah, that landed completely for me.
Okay.
I'm seeing people's heads nodding too. Yeah. You guys be sure to give each other thumbs up as you're, if you're agreeing, give each other that feedback. Kiss for Pam. Mwah. All right. So just a quick reminder, you guys, raise your hand if you're a niche soup. Like you're a niche soup, you're like, I really don't know. Like I'm pretty confused. Okay. So first of all, I just want to name, you're going to have most of the time next week to get niche coaching with Serena. I'm looking right now for a time where I can actually sit down and do an extra niche coaching call with you guys this month. So we'll get that on the calendar and get you the date for that. I'd like to make sure you have enough time to get niche coaching this month. So I just want to remind you, we don't need to get this solved today. Does that make sense? But what we do want to encourage you to do is to not think about it so much that you feel like you can't be in action anyway. Like just go do a talk. Pick a topic. It doesn't even matter what it is. You're going to get more experience from doing that than overthinking the niche thing. I want to share just a couple of quick resources with you as you guys are getting niche coaching. A couple of resources that we're going to be getting you working on this month. Number one, and I'll have you share anything you want about this, Serena. As you guys get really clear on who your clients are, we're going to have you go to this last page of the master plan and start doing potential client interviews. Okay, we're going to actually invite you guys to do these potential client interviews and bring the information that you get to the June retreat. Like we're serious about you doing these. We know that many of you are going to want to skip this step.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah.
And don't do it, ladies. Every entrepreneur I've ever met wants to skip this step. And what it does is it feels like a shortcut, but you end up spending so much time trying to guess about real life people behind your computer, creating marketing materials and messages that don't land with real human beings in what we're calling 12-year-old language. When you talk to your potential clients and you do these interviews, you get straight from their mouth what they're suffering with and what they want. And when you use that language, that client speak in your marketing materials, it's 90%, 99% more likely to hit them right in the chest and be like, oh my God, that's me. She's talking to me. So don't skip this step.
I just want to say that some of you already have paying clients. Use these questions with your paying clients so that you can really understand them. Does that make sense? When you guys use these questions to understand your potential clients more clearly, you're going to get it, like Serena said, you're going to get it in client speak rather than in the words that you would use now that you are where you are. You want to know what words they're using to describe their challenges. And again, if you already have paying clients, ask these questions of your paying clients in your next session and take notes. And do this with at least 3 to 5 people. You guys can also sometimes use this community to get some potential client information. If your clients are, are new entrepreneurs like Pam, and Pam wants to know which title is hottest for my signature talk, or what are you struggling with the most, you could put a little post up right in the Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy Facebook page and ask this audience what their biggest challenge is as an entrepreneur. And then what you're doing is you're wanting to ask enough people And, you know, asking on your own personal Facebook page is a great tool as well, right? What's your biggest health challenge? What's most confusing to you about nutrition? You know, go out there and ask the public, because what you're going to have happen is you're going to start to see themes. Does that make sense, you guys? Are you picking up what I'm laying down? You're looking for the themes. When you put those themes in your marketing, that's an award-winning formula for your offerings. I also want to bring your attention to the bonus courses that you guys have access to, right? On the welcome page of your forum, you have access to the True North Niche Clarity course. For those of you that are seriously in niche soup, download this workbook right here, okay? This workbook is super helpful. I put many months of my life into creating this workbook. And then what I want you to do is especially find the client contribution brainstorm. I think it's on like page 15 or 16. It's step 7 of your Divine Right client workbook. Fill that out. Write this down for those of you who are in niche soup. Fill this out and bring this to your coaching session with Shannon or Claire or Serena. If you guys can fill this out and start to work through this workbook and then bring your brainstorming to your coaching sessions with Claire, Shannon, or Serena, every year we have many women come out of those coaching sessions. Many women come out of those coaching sessions and say, oh my God, I got my niche. Serena helped me get my niche. Claire helped me get my niche. And it was because they came prepared to a coaching session with some ideas about who their niche might be, because they use that Divine Right client workbook. Okay, so it's a great resource. All right, back to you, Sarah Coolidge. Your hand's been up for a while. What do you got?
Hi. Wow. Hi. Hi. We're a bunch of rock stars, all of us. No?
Yeah.
We are doing it.
I'm flipping through my pages. I wrote down what I believe my mission statement is, and I wanted to just clarify. So, gosh darn it. I mentor women who are struggling to find their bearings after their children have grown and gone, to get grounded, excited, and going again so they can claim and live their next best life chapter.
Awesome. I love it that you're identifying moms. And again, the word bearings, right? It's a description of something that's broader that a 12-year-old wouldn't really understand. I'm curious, what are these moms complaining about? They want their bearings. What is it they want?
Okay, so I don't know who I am anymore is kind of what I'm referring to.
That's what they complain about. They don't know who they are anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And when they describe they don't know who they want anymore, I would go deeper, especially in those potential client interviews. Or do you have paying clients right now, Sarah?
No.
Okay. So those moms, when they complain about not knowing who they are, is it when they first wake up in the morning? Is it that they don't know who they are at the end of the day, so they don't take care of their bodies? Like specific real life troubles that they're having. How can you get that from them to bring into your message?
Good. Yeah, and I have a potential client interview tomorrow, so.
Awesome.
Perfect. The other thing that you're probably going to hear moms say over and over again is, I just want to be a good mom. I want to raise happy, healthy kids. And that's oftentimes their language. And what they need once they come in the door, and I want you guys to write this down, there's a difference between the sign on your door and the transformation you provide. Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense, you guys. Okay, awesome. There's a difference between the sign on your door and the transformation you provide, right? Like, I'm not going to tell people, well, I work with women over 1 to 3 years time, and they come and we do this big fire ceremony, and I get them in touch with their deepest leadership, and then I get them in touch with their message for the world, right? People don't need all that information. They don't care. What they really need is more clients. They need to know they can make money with their gift. And moms, oftentimes, they're not going to invest in, I forgot who I am and I just want to know who I am again. But they are oftentimes going to invest in, I want to raise a happy, healthy kid and not lose myself in the process. Right? What we've found is that for moms, when we can make it about their kids and about them, they're going to be more likely to invest Does that make sense? And if you are a mom, do you guys agree? Lots of heads nodding, lots of thumbs up. Okay, so is that helpful, Sarah?
Yes, yes. Sorry, I'm muted now.
It's all right, sweetheart. Give Sarah a kiss. Mwah.
Looks like there's a little glitch in the Zoom right now. The audio is clear, but the visuals are a little funky. So just hang with us, ladies. That happens. Technology. All right.
And what about Venna? You've had your hand up for a while. Hi, sweetheart. We can't hear you. Did you unmute yourself?
Now I did.
There we go.
Now I did. Sage, I actually joined the Toastmaster 2 weeks ago. And actually last night was one of my sessions. On the first night, I was given an impromptu topic to speak on, and I won the award.
Well done. Well done. Well done.
And I went again last night, and there really is an opportunity to learn, to grow, to share. It is so beautiful. A very friendly community, Toastmasters, and everyone is just willing to help you. And the most important thing, what was really good for me, is I will be assigned a mentor as I become a member. And they would teach me the ropes, how to get started, and to understand everything from A to Z.
Nice.
So,
I've heard good things about Toastmasters, Venna. And do you have a question for us?
I beg your pardon?
Can I add one thing to this too before you ask your question, if you have one?
Okay.
For those of you that decide to practice through Toastmasters, it's tricky to do a lot of selling at Toastmasters, which is understandable. Toastmasters is about learning to be comfortable as a public speaker. It's not a place to solicit your services. However, I pulled some clients out of Toastmasters by just talking about what I do and how much I love it, and letting people know I'd love to connect with them after the event. And then people would come up to me, and what I would say, would you like to hop on the phone and chat more about your business outside of this environment? And that way it was really clean. I did actually pull some clients out of Toastmasters. And when you guys go to Toastmasters, just keep in mind that you're going to want to practice through Toastmasters, and then you're going to want to use our formulas to really craft your offer when you actually do a signature talk. Because we've had several people go to Toastmasters and practice and then tell us, our signature talks aren't converting, and it was because they were using some of the Toastmasters formulas for their signature talk rather than a client attracting formula for a signature talk. So just keep in mind that you're not going to want to drop, don't drop some of the important pieces that we're teaching you. Just make sure that you're adding that into everything that you're learning at Toastmasters. And I'm really excited for all of you that are giving yourselves that gift of practice. The other thing about Toastmasters is you guys want to find the right group. I've been to several Toastmasters groups, and some of them I feel like I connect with, and others I don't always connect with. Sometimes you walk in and it's all like men in their 50s on a golf course or whatever. Not to say that's bad, right? But just if you don't find a group that you jive with and you want to do it, try a couple of chapters before you make a final decision. Venna, did you have a question?
Okay, my question is, I am now working on my my title, for my signature talk, and I'm just really putting this out there for critique. I inspire middle-aged women to stand in their power and to speak their voice.
I love the first part.
Okay.
I work with middle-aged women, and I inspire them to stand in their power and speak their voice so that what? Right? We're always looking for the so that. What is the thing that middle-aged women might be hungry for that speaking their voice and standing in their power is going to get them more of?
So that they can really retake their life, which actually over time, like they're so used to taking care of everyone else, they forget about themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I help middle-aged women who have given so much of their life to taking care of other people, right? I help them learn to really stand in their power and set their own boundaries so that they can recreate their second chapter of life.
That's right.
Recreating yourself in midlife can work. I've seen it work as a message, but you want to keep it really clear. This is for middle life women that want to recreate their career, recreate their life. Career is even more specific.
Okay.
And Benna, don't you come from a background of well-being? You come from a nursing background?
No, actually, no. I've been a caregiver all my life for my children and then to my husband.
Got it. Good. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love where Sage is going with this.
Good. Okay. I'll take your advice and I will have to rework it and I will present it again, probably on the Facebook page for some input again.
Yeah, I would say use that word recreate.
Yes, recreate.
Yep. And I do like that you're mentioning like that you work with middle-aged women that have historically spent their life giving too much to other people, right? Okay. And you're looking to help them recreate and speaking up and setting boundaries can be really clear things that those women need help with as well.
Yes, they do.
Beautiful. Kiss for you.
Thank you.
How about right next door to Elena?
Elena, that was right.
Welcome to the call.
It took me forever to find my raise hand button. I just found it. Okay, so I help parents, and I'm not sure if I want to go really focus in on moms. I feel like I probably will, so I'm just going to go there. Okay. I help moms get to know their infant child's movement cues during the first months of life to bond and fall deeply in love.
Movement cues. Tell me in really plain language, what is a movement cue?
Well, okay, so I teach a program where we dance and move and dance around with the babies. And so it's moving, I guess it's like that physical bond, tactile, physical touching bond with their babies. So I guess maybe they're getting to know their infant, maybe they're not getting to know their movement cues, maybe they're just getting to know their child through creative dance,
awesome.
Massage, music.
Do you teach baby sign language? Like, is that something that you have studied or teach? Okay.
No, it's all about creative dance and the whole concept that moving your body builds your brain, which is what Serena said at the beginning.
And in some ways, you're helping moms actually communicate with their child through movement. I like where Serena's going because I think that's a hunger that moms have to be able to communicate with their child.
Yes.
Right. Thinking about what moms want, and especially in those younger years when children can't speak, right? The children are mostly speaking through their body and communicating, right? And there's a lot of frustration between the parent and the child and like, what are they trying to say?
Right. And that is exactly what I'm trying to teach. Yeah.
Awesome. So if there's some way that you can weave into this statement, I help moms learn how to communicate with their children. And then what would be the so that for you? What problem would this solve for parents?
To bond with their child, create a strong attachment.
Okay.
And just have a great lifelong relationship with their child starting at birth.
Right. And I want to think about the shorter term, right? Because what about the happiness factor and the frustration factor of not being able to understand their children when they're hungry, when they're tired, like that those basic things that parents complain about a lot, right? I don't know what to do. She's not sleeping, right? Maybe she didn't run around enough today.
Yeah.
Okay. So So one of the things that I'm going to suggest for you is to really talk to these moms. Are you teaching in class already?
Yeah.
Awesome. So you might consider doing a group discussion with them before a class, or at the beginning or at the end of a class, or giving them like 3 questions, ask them to answer. Like, what would they say? Like, if they could understand their child without words, like what would they want to know? And really use that language in your marketing.
Okay. I do. I have one mom who always comes to me after every class with all kinds of questions. And so I was like, so mom of this sweet baby, I'm going to use you as a beta client. Are you okay with that? And she was like, yes. So she's excited to help. But I think that there are more moms that I could just say, hey, would you guys be willing to stay after class today? Or,
and I love you guys. I love Serena's idea, because I've done this during a signature talk myself, where we'll just open up with a discussion like, if you could communicate with your child, what would you want to know the most? And then just write down all their answers on a flip chart. And in 3 minutes or in 5 minutes, you just did a ton of awesome research that you can use. And it sounds like you already have quite a bit of marketing language to use in your promotional materials. But I think you should write down what Serena said. It's super smart. I want to be able to tell, I help moms learn how to communicate with their child, form a healthy, lasting bond, and to even be able to determine the basics, like when their child is hungry and when they're tired. That's super hot right there.
Yeah. You can even niche it down even more specifically in something like, I teach moms how to get their children enough exercise and movement so they sleep better, they're less frustrated, and they eat more.
Yeah.
Right? Because those are moms are always wanting sleep, happy children, and ones that eat. And then they're like, okay, everything's golden.
Everything's fine. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
So glad you're here.
Thank you.
Big kiss for you.
All right, you guys, I want to actually get us orienting toward what you're going to do for your homework, as we also take a little bit more niche coaching. So
I'm ready to post that.
Raise your hand if you are committed to doing some potential client interviews this month. Raise your hand if you're committed to that. Okay, awesome. So that's going to be something that we absolutely encourage you guys to keep working on. One thing I want to say about potential client interviews is that people love being interviewed, just like Elena was just saying. When you actually ask people for a 15-minute informational interview, could I hop on the phone with you for 15 minutes? Most people are really they kind of feel like it's a compliment. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, you want to hear what I have to say about what it's like to be me, right? People really like being interviewed. So don't be nervous about these. I've had many clients come to me and say, I did my potential client interview, and the person I was doing a potential client interview with ended up hiring me. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I can't believe that happens. So, that can happen. And don't plan on it happening, right? Because for many of you, raise your hand if you're going to be doing something that's totally different than what your community knows you to be doing. Like, you're reinventing your career with us this year. Reinventing. Okay, so for many of you, not all of you, but many of you, probably at least half of you, your friends don't see you as a coach or as a nutritionist or as a mentor for moms. They don't see you as that yet. Be patient with them, right? Don't feel like they should just all of a sudden see you that way overnight, okay? That's why we really invite you to lean into this community when you're feeling scared or vulnerable or nervous or stretched. Lean in here, because your friends don't see you as that yet. It's okay. Don't require that of them. And they may not make the best clients in the beginning, and you may be surprised. They may be very curious and want to know more. But we really recommend that in this reinvention period that you get out there publicly. Yes, absolutely. Use your warm community to make connections, but it's likely going to be people that you may not even have met yet that are going to be the most likely to hire you. You guys picking up what I'm laying down? Are you picking up what I'm laying down? Can I have an uh-huh?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. So remember, there's going to be a lot more time for questions next week. But let's see, do we have homework up yet?
It's coming right now.
So when I say make a video, a 90-second video, how many of you are like, I've never done that before? Yeah, so lots of you. So here's what we recommend if you're going to make a video. We recommend that you do it a couple of different ways. We're asking you to make a 90-second video telling us a draft of who you think your clients are. A draft, an imperfect video. Somebody repeat after me. What's the word, please? An imperfect video. What kind of video?
Imperfect video.
Yes, imperfect. So please know that's the standard we're holding you to. It better be imperfect. If it's too perfect, no, just kidding. So there's a couple ways that we recommend that you make videos. You can make a video on your computer using QuickTime or iMovie. You can just search for one of the systems on your computer that will record a movie, and QuickTime is quite easy to use, and iMovie is quite easy to use. You're just importing a new movie. I think it's even easier to make a video on your iPhone. I think this is the easiest way. This is what I recommend if you're a beginner. When you make a video on your iPhone, don't hold it vertical. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you do, but if you hold it vertical, you get those black bars on either side of the video. Have you guys seen that? Where you see somebody, like, their head is really skinny and there's these black bars and there's this video? That's because they held their video vertical. So we recommend that you make a video using the camera on your iPhone. You can hold it out in front of you. You can borrow your daughter's iPhone, borrow a teenager's iPhone if you don't have one. Hold it out in front of you, turn on the camera app, and just turn it so that you can see yourself talking, and just press record and just talk right into the camera. Now, what you're going to want to do when you're playing around with making videos is, can you guys see the difference of me back here, how dark I am, and me up here, how light I am? I just found the light, right? You're going to want to kind of walk around your house or walk around outside and find the place where your face is lit up so that we can actually see you. And oftentimes when you're looking out at a window and you use that natural light from a window coming in to light up your face, that's the best way to do it. Serena and I will be teaching you a little bit more about technology and some fancy things you can do with video another time. But for now, use your iPhone, make your video. It's got to be 90 seconds or less. How long?
90 seconds or less. Paige, can I ask you to do that?
Yeah.
One of the things that I love to do when I'm shooting a video of myself is I put my elbow on a table, or I sit down and I prop my elbow up on a knee, because when I'm holding my camera freeform out here, it jiggles and it makes things nauseous. And the other thing I like to do is I like to shoot 3 videos right in a row. Before I get my panties in a wad and I get all nervous and I start judging myself, I just do it 3 times. And that is great practice. And just like Venna was saying, like, you know, getting out there and saying your talk and getting things out of your mouth is great practice. So then I usually do that. I shoot 3 of them, and then I pick the best of the best.
I love that idea. Some of you guys have selfie sticks. You can use a selfie stick. Some of you have a tripod. You can use a tripod. Putting your hand on a table is great. And we're just going to ask you to let us know who you are and what you do, who you think you help. And if you're in niche soup and you're like, you know, I'm thinking about helping moms, helping them become better moms and raise happy, healthy kids. And I'm also thinking about supporting women in their middle age. And I'm kind of torn between the two. If you can say that in a succinct way, you can say that on camera. We're not looking for a perfect answer right now because we know some of you guys are in process, okay? And we'll give you coaching on whatever you say. Here's the second thing though. When you guys post your video, all you have to do is you upload it directly to Facebook. So you basically go, open up Facebook on your phone, go into the Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy group, and you can choose to upload the video right there in the same way you would upload a photo. It's quite straightforward. If you have trouble, you can ask for help on our Facebook page. You can also email Sylvia at support@sagelevine.com, and she can get you a little bit more specific instructions for uploading a video to Facebook. It'll take a few minutes, and you're going to want to be somewhere where you have good internet connection to get the video uploaded to Facebook. You don't want to be doing that like driving around town or in a restaurant. Do it somewhere where you're actually on the internet, where you have an internet connection. Okay, that's what it takes to upload video. Now,
you're driving.
Now, there's a couple more things we're going to ask you to do for homework. let me show you, dun, 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 so that you can see. We're gonna ask you to post that video by next week. And we're gonna ask you, I've gotta refresh this. We're gonna ask you to post that video. Oh, where'd it go? Here we go. Let's pin this so that it's at the top. We are going to ask you to go to 3 of your sister's videos and tell her the essence quality. Okay, see how we noted this right here? Acknowledge 3 sisters' essence qualities. Okay, we're gonna actually have you go around to 3 different videos and tell 3 of your sisters, this is the quality I saw coming through in your video. Raise your hand if you think this would be helpful to have a dozen or so of your tribal sisters actually reflect what qualities come through when I make a video, right? You want to actually know, are you coming across as genuine, as friendly, as approachable, as inspiring? Because then we're going to be talking about how do you actually use those qualities and leverage those qualities to even be more effective when you're finding clients. We're also going to make sure that you guys get your buddy request, have a buddy call in the next week or so, complete your start of the year survey, which is on the welcome page, do those potential client interviews, and book your room for the June retreat. And I know Serena's playing with this right now so that because the formatting is just a little messed up on this. So the other thing that we're going to ask that you guys do, if possible, if you want your what do you do statement, if you want us to give you like a full-on thumbs up on that what do you do statement and say you're good to go, thumbs up, we think this is marketable. If you want that, go ahead and type it in when you upload your video. Does that make sense? Because when you upload your video, you can type a comment in as well. And if you guys want to type in your official what do you do statement with the video, it'll make it really easy for our coaches to say, yeah, thumbs up, like you've nailed it. Or it'll help, like we can help you wordsmith it a little bit more easily when it's typed out. Does that make sense? And if you're still noodling it and still figuring it out, make your video and just know that you've got the whole next 30 days or so to really crystallize that what do you do statement with your coaches and with us. When you make that video is going to be entered into a contest, and we're going to choose the most creative, the most concise video, and we're going to give you guys a prize. You're likely going to get to do some laser coaching with Serena and I at the June retreat for those of you who get chosen with the most concise, clear, and creative video. So have fun making the videos. You're going to win some prizes. And Serena, do you have anything to add?
I just refreshed that post so it's a little bit easier to read. And what do I have to add? I have to add that that one piece of homework may feel like a lot. Everything may feel like a lot today. And what I want to say about today and like the first day and Monday, and we don't have to do everything all in one day. Life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. I encourage you each to take one thing at a time. And what I like to do is I like to skip around my list. And I do what's on top for me on that day when I feel most excited about doing. And every day is not a video day for me. But when it is a video day, like I'm on that, checking that off of my list. And for any of you that want to have some, you know, encouragement around videos, check out the ones that your coaches posted this week.
And some of you guys have already posted videos, and we give you so many huge thumbs up for those of you that already have.
Really?
If you're like me, I just don't like to think about it too much. The first time I had to make a video, I was like, I'm just going to do it today. Get that thing over with so I could sleep tonight. You know, and
that's the difference between an introvert and an extrovert right there. And what we really want you to know is there's room for all of us, ladies. Yeah, whether you're that way or a gamish of both, that there's room for you here to grow one day at a time.
So, I love that. So Claire, thank you so much for being with us. Congratulations, every single one of you. If you did not get your question answered, please post it. Post it on Facebook if it's a question for Serena and I. If it's a question for support, like if it's about the June retreat or what are the hours of the retreat or anything logistical, email the office, right? Anything that you know our office can help you with, email support@sagelevine.com. There's a bunch of information in your forum. All the days and hours and everything about your retreat is in your forum. So you guys grab your room today at 1440 so that you don't think about it too much. Just grab a room. If you know you want a roommate, and if you want a room with somebody here, you guys can post on Facebook, who wants to be my roommate. We're also going to do a buddy post on Facebook so that there's a specific big, like a big colorful picture that says grab a buddy below. So you guys can look for that this afternoon when you're grabbing your buddies. And make your videos between now and next week. It's got to be imperfect. That's the only rule. And are you guys clear on what you're going to do between now and next week? And do your potential client interviews. And if you guys want extra credit, go book your next signature talk. We are so excited to have you with us all year long because we know we've graduated over 1,000 women from this program at this point, and we know what's possible for you a year from now. We know we can see your future, and we're sitting here grinning inside because we know where you may be likely going this year in terms of your impact and your income, and just imagining all of those clients flowing your way. So as we wrap up, please unmute yourself and let us know one thing that you're walking away from the call with. Go for it.
Confidence.
Excitement.
Encouragement.
Inspiration.
Inspiration.
Excitement. Encouragement.
Support.
Trust.
Enthusiasm.
Community.
Sisters.
Yes.
Ideas.
Community.
Hope.
Support. Clarity.
Are amazing.
What an honor to be with you, ladies. This concludes our first meeting call for the year. Let's all give each other a big kiss. See you on the Facebook page.
We'll see you next week. Bye, goddesses. Grab a buddy.
Thank you.